Everyone shut up right now. Rift is coming back. Fine, we'll talk about Iron Banner first. Okay, so Iron Banner is getting a big revamp for Season 17. First off, power level is getting disabled in Iron Banner. It's confusing to new players, and no one remembers what modes do and don't have power enabled, so no more power enabled for Iron Banner. Initially, I glossed over this information, but there may be some old sunset weapons that might make a return into Iron Banner as a result of this change. I haven't played a ton of PvP recently, but I don't feel like I was seeing a lot of people using sunset weapons in quick play, even since said weapons were sunset. But if you see spare rations and mindbenders clawing back out from the depths of people's vaults, just don't be too surprised. Next, Rift. Rift is back. Rift is back. After I don't know how many years, it is back. And Iron Banner will be Iron Banner Rift after being Iron Banner Control for who knows how long it's been. In fact, I don't even remember if it's ever been not Control. The mode for Iron Banner will be swapping every season. At least that's what Bungie is hoping to do. Sometimes it'll be something new, sometimes it'll be something old with a twist, but the point is they want to change up the mode for Iron Banner season over season. Iron Banner tokens are getting removed. We have known this, so you should spend all of your Iron Banner tokens before it goes away, or you're going to lose all of your tokens and they're going to be worthless. Saladin will have a similar ranking system to Shaxx and Saint 14. Quote, Saladin is also getting a full focusing implementation as well. Players will be able to convert iron engrams into any current Iron Banner weapons or armor set that have been earned previously for a cost with in-game materials, end quote, with more to come in the future. Here's how Iron Banner is going to work. You play matches to get Iron Banner rep, and winning gets you some bonus rep. Wear Iron Banner gear and weapons in matches to get a multiplier to your rep, and the way this is worded makes it appear to mean that Iron Banner ornaments being equipped will count as wearing gear. Hold your excitement until that's 100% confirmed. Do Iron Banner daily challenges to get even more rep, and then use an emblem from Iron Banner to get even more rep after that. Daily challenges will unlock one per day starting when Iron Banner launches for the week. They do not go away if you miss a day, so you can just log in on Friday and do all of them back to back. These will give you rep bonuses along with a Pinnacle Iron Engram, but the weeklies that normally gave us Pinnacles in the past few seasons are being retired to balance out these reward changes. A new seal and title are coming with these revamps, but Bungie seems to think that this will not be an easy title to get, although upon first review, it seems like it'll be more of a time commitment thing if anything else, with Bungie estimating it'll take 15 to 20 hours to unlock. Very hardcore players will be able to get it done in a week, but for others, it's going to take a little bit longer. I'm not expecting this to be very difficult to earn, but I guess we'll find out soon enough. If you're like me and will forget all of this information between now and the first Iron Banner of Season 17, there will be an account-based introduction quest that will launch with the first Iron Banner of Season 17. But there will now only be 2 Iron Banners per season. In Season 17, it'll be Week 2 and Week 8, which is May 31st and July 12th, respectively. Okay, let's talk about the actual important thing, Rift. Rift is a game mode from Destiny 1, where 2 teams each have a goal, a rift, and they compete to dunk the spark, a ball, into the opposing team's rift. The spark is placed in the middle of the map, someone tries to grab it, and then tries to score by running it into the rift. Here's how things are different from Destiny 1. First, there are no points for anything other than rift goals. In Destiny 1, the goal was to hit 20,000 points in a match to win, with rift goals counting for a lot of points. So most of the time, if you had the most dunks, you probably won, but it wasn't a guarantee if your team got very out-fragged. This time around, rift goals are the only thing that matter. It's the only thing that will get you any score. The first to 5, or the most after 10 minutes, is the winner. When you grab the spark, you can still use abilities and shoot your gun, but you can't use your super. If you die carrying the spark, it falls to the ground, and somebody else can grab it. If you hold it for too long, it's going to explode. Team revives are enabled in Rift, so be sure to try to res people. If at the end of regulation, let's say it's 4-3 and the team with 3 is holding the spark, the game will continue until a goal is scored or the spark is dropped. If you don't score, it's game over. If you do, or the game is tied at the end of regulation, you go to sudden death multi-spark. 3 sparks in play, first to score wins. If still no one scores, it's just going to end in a tie. A brand new Crucible map will launch with Season 17 and Rift called Disjunction. It is a symmetrical map with bases on both sides and a very wide range of combat opportunities, long sightlines, close quarters, and it's one of the biggest maps Bungie has ever made. I assume for Destiny. I don't know the size of Halo maps, but I imagine they were probably bigger than Destiny maps. The map will be available for all 3v3 and 6v6 modes, free-for-all, and Iron Banner. Zone control is coming back in Season 17. It's like regular control, but where you actually want to cap zones because you only get points based on how many zones you control. Hence, zone control. You get it. Solo capping a zone takes 22.5 seconds. They want this to be a team effort, so best of luck to the 19 people out there who play objectives. I'm looking forward to going AFK with you while we cap zones. Zone control will launch as a part of Crucible Labs in week 5, which is June 21st, if you want to go mark that on your calendar. Some other changes coming to some other modes are the following. For you Destiny 1 purists out there, regular control is getting a change to make it so you get 1 point per participant when capping a zone instead of just 1 point total. This is how it was in D1. So checkmate, people who think D2 is better than D1. Boom. Elimination is getting its timer reduced to 90 seconds to match trials. For Mayhem, super kills now give 3 points instead of 2. The score target is now 200 instead of 150, and the time limit is now 7 minutes, down from 8 minutes. Rumble, the time limit is now 10 minutes, up from 8 minutes, and Showdown is now 15 instead of 10 to win. Gambit. Oh boy. Okay, well this is actually not too bad. Gambit matches are taking a full minute longer per match than the Beyond Light version of Gambit. Gambit rep gains have thus fallen behind Crucible and Vanguard, so Bungie is making some adjustments here. Base rep gains for a match were increased by 50% from 50 to 75, and the value of each streak is now 20 per streak, up from 15, so nice little boost there to make rep gains a little less painful. Speaking of streaking, the way the core playlist streak is going to work in Season 17 is as follows. The streak now takes the sum of streak values across strikes, Crucible, Gambit, and dares and adjusts them to a maximum of 5. If you do something that brings the sum of these to more than 5, it takes away a point from the streak of every ritual besides the one you just played. Bungie gives an example, which I've posted here, if you would like to start your degree in cryptography. Finally, for you conquerors out there with bad internet connections, starting in Season 17, if you get error-coded out of a non-match-made Nightfall at any level, you will now rejoin after logging in. While in this state, you will not be able to change anything on your character in any way, so I'm personally really looking forward to seeing the first swap loadouts during GM Nightfall cheese videos coming out shortly after someone inevitably breaks this. Eververse, in Season 17, starting on week 3 of the season, you will now be able to purchase 10 season ranks once per season for 1,000 silver. I think this is an absolute waste of money considering how quickly you can level, but I am not here to judge, at least not on a public forum such as this, but secretly I will judge you. Finally, Etheric Spiral will deprecate at the end of Season 16. Spend it all before then, much like your Iron Banner tokens, otherwise it will become a useless item from the moment Season 17 starts. Thoughts? The Iron Banner stuff is totally fine. I'm not a huge Iron Banner guy who saw that coming, but all of these changes look pretty fine to me. Bungie is just updating the mode to be more in line with what other modes are offering when it comes to rep gains and rewards and all those kinds of things. I will probably try to get the title in the first week that Iron Banner launches, and then I will continue to treat Iron Banner the same way that I do right now, which is begrudgingly joining up with my friends in a toxic 6-stack when they asked me to roll over helpless level 7s and 12s as Shovel dumpsters them with a pulse rifle and I cap zones to pretend that I'm doing something. Rift. My precious Rift, my sweet, sweet Rift is back. Rift is basically the only thing that I played in D1 when it came out. It is the reason I played any PvP at all. I loved going for 10,000 points in a match. I love going for team wipes with the Spark. Why it took Bungie this long to bring back Rift, even in this capacity, I will never know, unless they tell us, which I would really like. The sandbox in Destiny 2 is very different to Destiny 1. I get it. Our power is much higher. Our mobility is much higher. So I understand that these were potentially factors that Bungie was still trying to figure out how to balance before bringing it back. But man, would I love some insight as to why it took Bungie this long to bring it back, or even experiment with bringing it back, even in the capacity that we'll be getting it. Now, there wasn't a whole lot mentioned regarding movement abilities when holding the Rift. You can't super, but I'm wondering what happens if a Warlock eats a grenade for Heat Rises and just tries to float their way over to the Rift. Bungie does say that for the first few seconds after getting the Spark or after taking damage, both teams get a marker for where the Spark holder is, but after that, the marker only stays for the Spark holder's own team. So hunting down the Spark is a big part of the experience, and if people are able to abuse movement mechanics in a significant way, this might not make Rifts very fun. I understand there's appeal in being able to fling yourself cross-map to instantly dunk the Spark, but the novelty for me would wear off rather quickly, and I feel like the spirit of the mode is supposed to be pretty boots on the ground, team push to support your Spark holder to the goal, or try to slowly stealth your way there towards the goal while the rest of your team is being a big distraction or something like that. We'll see how it ends up actually playing out. Either way, I'm excited for it to be back to some degree, although it'll only be around for the 2 Iron Banner weeks during Season 17, and then as a part of the rotator in the main Crucible playlist in Season 18, which is kind of a bummer. I hope it becomes part of the core playlist at some point, because that's all I would ever play, but I'll take what I can get for the time being. That's your TWAB video. Have a great day. Thanks for watching. Rift.